Sagittarius, hello. Welcome to Coffee, Sage, and Tarot. This is going to be your monthly reading for May 2025. Please do keep in mind that these are general readings, so take what resonates, leave what doesn't, and reverse any energies as you see fit. Okay? Let's go ahead and take a look at Sagittarius for the month of May 2025. Show me Sagittarius, please, for the month of May 2025. Can you show me what Sagittarius has in store for the month of May 2025, please? Thank you. Show me Sagittarius, please. Show me Sagittarius for the month of May. Last time. There was too many. Okay. For real last time. All right. Well, hello there. The sun. Alrighty. So working on bringing things to light. Right. So no hidden, what am I trying to say here? Nothing's hidden under the sun. Okay. So, everything is, everything's coming to light. Words are hard today. Everything's coming to light and you're feeling good, right? Or at least feeling rejuvenated here. You know, how that sun hits you, on a nice sunny day. It was really nice, beautiful. You feel almost like you have a warm hug, right? You feel protected a little bit, enclosed. All the comfort of that is really what I'm seeing for you, heading into May. Okay. We've got, what else? Yeah, like a really good board here for you. Ace of Wands, right? So again, this opportunity to reconnect to yourself. The Ace of Wands is your element here, Sagittarius, and so this really feels like an opportunity to connect with yourself in a different way, reinvest in yourself, reignite that passion. Alrighty, Page of Wands, you're learning, which does make sense paired with that sun energy here, right? So when things are exposed and brought to light, that's an opportunity to learn. So it feels like you are taking that opportunity and really capitalizing on it, okay? Seven of Pentacles here. Yeah, you're taking stock, right? Again, under the sun, we are looking at things that perhaps have previously been hidden to you. Perhaps you were hiding from yourself and you're kind of saying, okay, let's figure this out here, okay? High Priestess kind of paired next to that Seven of Pentacles. You are using your intuition to determine what fits, what doesn't, what should stick around, what shouldn't, right? So you are very much in control and in charge of this editing process here, and you are using your natural intuition. You are using, all of these different skill sets available to you here to edit out what shouldn't stick around and what should, right? Cost benefit analysis here, right? What's working, what's not, what should you perhaps double down on, and what needs to be pruned and set to the side because it's no longer working, right? Queen of Cups, again, really good energy here. It feels very balanced, not only with you showing up and being present in your shadow here, but just this idea that, you're very much balanced, okay? You're not letting anything really sway you in one way or the other here. And I found this to be the case with Aries as well. You're taking a cool, level-headed approach here. And I didn't really see this with Aries, but really with you, you're trusting your gut and you're trusting that higher vibration, that higher knowing here to, do this work. And really, you're embracing that heading into May, which is beautiful to see. Let's get some more clarification here for Sagittarius. Let's get some clarification for Sagittarius, please. Okay. 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 Interesting here. So we've got the Knight of Swords upright. It almost feels like, yeah, now is the time. um, there's almost like an urgency to this idea of, um, seeing things fully illuminated here, and whatever knowledge about yourself, and whatever passion that ignites, there's a sense of urgency about that here. Okay, we have the Five of Swords and Justice in the reverse. Five of Swords in the reverse is nice just because, you're releasing that conflict, or releasing any sort of feelings surrounding that, thoughts surrounding that, right? Any tension, any resentment. It seems like those battles are done. Justice showing up in the reverse as well, right next to that. Yeah, it feels like you're not holding on to any sort of past decisions here, or past judgments. Okay, so perhaps you've changed your mind about something recently, and so now you're like, oh, okay, I changed my mind, so I have to, because you changed your mind in this way, you're really taking on this work, and you're saying, okay, well, do I need to change my mind about anything else? What else was I kind of thinking that was holding me back? Okay, or something along those lines. We have the Six of Swords in the reverse, along with the Page of Pentacles in reverse. Again, interesting. It's showing up on the bottom of the board. I'm wondering if you kind of stumbled into this energy. But now that you're here, you're taking it seriously. Like you, kind of like you found yourself here, and now okay, well, we're going to figure this out. Leo energy showing up, which again does make sense, just given the High Priestess, the Queen of Cups, the Sun, and you showing up here, glowing from the inside out, that inner confidence here, that inner knowing, which is pretty apparent for you, Sagittarius. All right, so we've got the Moon in reverse, which makes sense because the Sun is here. So you're no longer hiding things from yourself. You're no longer, in this space of things being unknown to you, or you're not knowing the whole picture. Things aren't as scary as they once appeared to be. This King of Pentacles showing up in the reverse, though, is interesting. I'm wondering if this has to do with this, in terms of perhaps something didn't go according to plan, or things kind of took an unexpected turn in your physical landscape here. So you ended up where you didn't think you would be, or you're gaining this insight in a way that you didn't expect. What I mean by that is, perhaps you took a break from, a certain career path, or you're perhaps you took a break from something. Perhaps you took a summer off of school, or a semester off of school, or something, and you were like, okay, I had to do this for whatever reason, or I did this for whatever reason. You kind of stumbled into this kind of new idea of fulfillment, this new idea of yourself, who Sagittarius is, and whatever kind of judgment or anything that kind of was surrounding this pause or any sort of insecurity, resentment here, perhaps for yourself or otherwise, that or hesitation of like, I took a semester off, this is going to put me behind, I'm a failure, I'm this, I'm that, I'm really, I don't know why I did this, I'm really doubting this. And then you kind of stumble into a path where you really find your groove. Perhaps, I don't know, you kind of stumbled into something that you really enjoy. Okay. And now you find yourself here with a new awakening and these kind of ideas of whatever kind of pivot you did in the past is kind of feeling good, right? And so those hesitations and those resentments and those second guesses, this might not have necessarily been your idea of whatever your path or plan was, kind of when you set out, but now that you're here, you're kind of feeling pretty good about it, right? So even if things didn't go necessarily accordingly, you're happy here, and that's important, right? You're finding some sort of fulfillment here. You're finding some sort of joy here, which is really lovely. And it feels like the universe and spirit is very much saying, trust that, right? Trust that you are where you need to be. Six of Wands showing up here, heading into victory, right? And showcasing that, really sharing that with those people around you, doing that victory lap and saying, yeah, okay, I didn't take the path, the normal path, the traditional path, but I ended up here and I really love it, right? And feeling that vibe. Eight of Wands here. Just your energy wants to move, right? Keep moving or move on. Okay, almost like this idea of what's next here. Let's see, what else can we get for Sagittarius, please? Oh, what else can we get for Sagittarius? Okay. Yeah, okay, so that Eight of Wands, right? Kind of out of this idea of we stumbled here. The Fool in reverse, I'm not seeing that as you trying to stick to or like afraid to let go. I'm seeing this more as you're treating this assessment seriously. You're taking this seriously, which Sagittarius, that makes sense for you, right? Because this seems to be important, whatever this is that you're kind of trying to sort out here. So it makes sense that you're not jumping from one thing to another, and you really don't flip-flop very much, right? So it makes sense. You're saying, I'm not going to run from this. I'm going to confront this in this way, and I'm really going to take this work seriously, which is what you appear to be doing. Six of Cups here. Yeah, so double sixes, right? So whatever this is, and again, it might not necessarily be where you thought you were going to be when you started this, but where you are now is someplace that seems to be fulfilling you in a couple different ways, right? Five of Wands here on the side. It's almost like you're determining how you're going to show up. And maybe that could be the work that you're doing. Like, how am I going to present myself? What face am I presenting to the people around me? How am I going to show them that I am now excited about this kind of pivot that I took, right? Knight of Wands in the reverse is interesting because you have the Knight of Swords in the upright. It kind of feels like you're I'm just getting the vibe that you don't want to move from this. You don't want to move from this energy here and that, because it does feel quite good, even though it is a little bit, or it was a little bit unexpected. Um, yeah, interesting. All right, let's see here. What else for Sagittarius? What else for Sagittarius? Okay. A lot. A lot. Ace of Cups on the side, the World on the side, Eight of Cups, Ace of Cups, Seven of Cups, Eight of Cups. Yeah, this has to do with some sort of emotional component here, okay? Seven of Cups, it feels like could be confusion, but it feels more to do with this assessment here that's going on, right? Of you taking stock. Ace of Cups kind of crossing you. Yeah, it feels like whatever this is here, kind of where you ended up, is not, again, where you thought you would be. So, again, taking that kind of with that school analogy, taking that semester off is something perhaps you really were nervous and scared about, but now it's almost like it brought you some sort of great fulfillment here, great emotional, great emotional fulfillment. There was an opportunity here, and that was more perhaps unexpected than you thought it would be. And it's giving you a lot of, it's fulfilling you, right? It is fulfilling wherever you ended up is fulfilling you more than perhaps you initially anticipated, okay? Eight of Cups, you're walking away from any sort of preconceived ideas or ideas you held in the past about where you landed. You're letting them go, because you're saying where I ended up is actually so much better than I thought it would be. And even if you're not sure how you're going to be interacting with people moving forward, saying, when you meet somebody new or when you're networking or in new circles, the question is always asked, oh, well, what do you do? Oh, well, and perhaps you for so long thought, oh, well, I'm going to be a doctor, or I'm in school to become this. I'm in school to do this. And now you're not in school. And so it's kind of like, oh, we almost have to practice saying, oh, well, I'm planning on this, right? And kind of dropping the school component of it, but also picking up this idea under the sun that I really enjoy doing this instead, right? And so doing these things, or trying to figure out in your brain how to rectify here, you really love where you ended up here, but how do I just exist in society a little bit, or put how do I operate in that space with people where I used to engage differently, kind of deal. Okay, so you're still figuring that out. I really hope that I put that in a way that makes sense for you, Sagittarius. Any final thoughts here? Any final thoughts for Sagittarius, please? Any final thoughts for Sagittarius? All right. Oh. Okay. Page of Cups in the reverse here. You're not letting anything or anyone sway you emotionally, okay? This work feels very personal. It feels like you are doing this for you, and you're under no illusion that it's for anyone else. Perhaps you were in school following your parents' lead, or following, sibling direction or something like that. Perhaps it wasn't what you truly wanted, and now you are in a place where you can actually explore what you really want to do, all right? You are not letting anyone sway you one way or the other. Ten of Wands, some sort of pattern here is coming to an end, which again does make sense. You are seeing the beautiful sun around you, meaning there is nowhere for anything to hide. That is putting some things to end. All right. Four of Pentacles here. You want to stick to what you have. This is interesting. Perhaps that idea of security was given up with that King of Pentacles reversed here when you kind of stumbled on this path. And so that could be something that you're trying to rectify as well. How do I keep that security going forward? And perhaps that's why you stumbled into or started doing this work, right? Two of Swords sideways. And again, a lot of sideways cards for you this month, which feels like you haven't decided which way your energy is. Like, for example, with this world, are you going to take advantage of this new path that you're leading on? Or are you going to let that opportunity kind of pass you by, right? Are you going to open that door and walk through it? Or are you going to close it? That kind of an idea, right? So that's what I'm seeing here. Your energy isn't fully made up. Your mind isn't fully made up, which is why you're sitting here contemplating this work in the month of May. Okay. Let's see some, what oracle card we have for you, Sagittarius. Let's get some final advice for Sagittarius for May, please. Find balance. 17. All right. Even moderation requires moderation. Swinging from one extreme to another can put one out of balance. Restore your peace from within. If you find that there's too much of something in your life, you're probably right. It's even possible to have too much of a good thing. This card might indicate that the answer to a current situation lies in finding the balance between two extremes or in finding a middle ground among two or more parties. Swinging from one extreme to the other only perpetuates an already unbalanced cycle. Perhaps you face recurring disappointments, but rather than landing on a solution somewhere in the middle, you choose to give up altogether, even though you don't want to. This forced submission instead of rest and wise action then turns into misdirected aggression, and once again, having accomplished little with this strategy, you find yourself facing feelings of defeat, fatigue, and passivity, right? Do you feel like you're often one step behind others as well as yourself? Could it be that you are running the wrong race, setting yourself up for failure before you even begin? If you are noticing extremes and repetitive cycles in your life or your environment, it may be time to sit down quietly, seek help, find a new way of doing things, a new way that comes from understanding of yourself, your needs, and what your environment can realistically provide. Having flexibility in your requirements is balance in itself, avoiding the extreme between the despot, absolute power, and doormat, no will of your own, and aligning with success. Yeah. Awesome. Sagittarius, that is what I have for you heading into the month of May. I really appreciate you taking the time to come here and possibly hit that like and subscribe while you're here and gain clarity heading into the month ahead, just as I hope that you appreciate this reading. Okay? Thank you so, so much. I really appreciate you taking the time, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. You take care.